Welcome back to Fiction Flux. Today, we're setting sail for a new what-if adventure, and this time, we're diving into a darker twist. What if Naruto found himself in the world of One Piece? Imagine the Nine Tails' power in the hands of the Straw Hat Pirate's greatest foe. Let's not waste any time and dive right in. Ooh, man, I am hungry, whined a boy who stood at 6'1", unusually tall with blonde-haired boy. He blue sky like mischievous eyes looked around in search of food. The boy wore burnt orange shinobi shirt and anbu pant with his kunai pouch in the back and front. This boy was none other than Naruto Uzumaki, our 16-year-old favorite protagonist. You see, 2 days back him and his team, which consisted of his Jonin sensei Kakashi Hatake and fellow Genins Sakura Haruno and Sasuke Uchiha, fought a battle against Zabuza Momoichi, one of the 7 swordsmen of the mist, and his accomplice Haku Yuki, last bearer of ice-style Kekkei Genkai. This simple mission of C rank, they took almost killed them all, but at the end they all prevailed and came out alive. Now, after the celebration for winning ended, Naruto went out to explore the forest, but lost his way back home. It was evening, and he was too much hungry. Naruto moved to his right and looked at a chest which was under the tree. Who the hell keeps a chest like that here? Naruto looked around to see if someone was there, but he picked none and shrugged. Well, their loss. Let's see what's inside it. Naruto opened the chest after lockpicking it and saw a very strange fruit. Please look up in Google for image, I don't know how to describe it. What a strange fruit, but it doesn't matter, I am hungry, mused Naruto out loud before eating the fruit in one gulp and almost puking it because of the horrible taste. It had not only strange but disgusting. It tastes like poop blay. But Naruto nonetheless gulped down the food with water canteen in his pocket. Naruto stood up, and just as he was going to leave the place, a white paper in the chest caught his attention. Looking at the paper, he started reading the content, and as he went on, his eyes widened. Whoever is reading must have eaten the fruit, and if not, well, you're lost. Anyway, if you don't know, then let me tell you about the fruit. This fruit is called a devil fruit, which by the taste horrible. Now, all devil fruits are broadly grouped into 3 separate types based on what kind of powers they grant. Logia, which grants a user the power to create, control, and transform their body into a natural element. Zoan, which allows a user to fully transform into a specific animal, as well as achieve a hybrid form. And Paramecia, which grant any of a wide variety of strange superhuman abilities that do not fit the other 2 categories. Each devil fruit is unique, and although some fruits grant similar powers to others, with some even being considered superior to others, each devil fruit is unique in its own way. In other words, there is no devil fruit natural, at least that has exactly the same power as another. Each fruit is given a name based on what power it possesses, and each fruit has a unique appearance that can be used to identify it. One fruit, in particular, has the honor of having 2 names while also fitting into 2 types. The fruit you just ate is the Gura Gura no Mai, is a Paramecia type devil fruit, which allows the user to create vibrations, or quakes, making the user a tremor human. But there is one major drawback, which is that after eating a devil fruit, the person will never be able to swim again, and they will sink in like a rock. After fully reading the paper, Naruto was very surprised. Of course, he had heard about the rumors of devil fruit, but never saw for himself, and it was considered just that, a rumor. How they knew? Well, everyone before the formation of Hidden Village thought that Elemental Nations was the only continent in the world, but they were wrong, very wrong. When the villages formed, the Shodan Hokage with other Kages during that time sent an expedition team after the first Gokage summit, and when they came back, everyone was surprised when they were coming back with an entourage of ships, and when they were told about Marines and world government, everyone was shocked to their core. Thinking of themselves as the mightiest, but getting the realization that they nothing more than speck of dusts in this vast world of oceans. While the Elemental Nations is not directly under the world government, they still deployed Marines around the continent to stop pirates and have trade routes. With the maps renewed, their continent came to be known as Elemental Kingdom, which was situated in East Blue, and near the red line which divided the oceans in south, north, east and west. The Elemental Kingdom now fell under the shogun, who went to live in Murigioise and left the jurisdiction under the daimyo of their respective nations. The Holy Land Marigiois is the capital of the world government where its top brass reside and govern. The gods' knights have jurisdiction, and where the celestial dragons reside. It also hosts the Lively, a council of royalty from various world government-affiliated nations that is in session every 4 years. Marigiois is located on top of the Red Line at the opposite side of the world from Reverse Mountain and serves as the official route for people to cross between the two halves of the Grand Line. Naruto always dreamt of being able to roam the seas freely because his heart always told him that he belonged to the seas. He didn't have any significant background. His father Kazama died in the battle against Kyuubi, one of the Great Nine Beasts, and mother Kushina Uzumaki was from an almost extinct clan, and while powerful Kunoichi also died when he was only 10-year-old during a mission. From then on Naruto lived alone in his parents' house training his body till he was exhausted. He passed from Shinobi Academy somewhere in the middle. He then got placed in Genin's cell and trained harshly. Naruto looked at the sea which was just out there which looked peaceful. He could also see a marine vessel out there patrolling the sea. I wish I can go out there and live freely and go wherever I want to and maybe find One Piece hihihi. Yes, they knew about One Piece, and honestly, who didn't? After the execution of Gold Roger, which was streamed worldwide, many people went out in sea to become pirated and find One Piece to become the king of the pirates. The era also came to know about as the Great Pirate Era, with even many shinobi becoming pirates, and also many went on to become marine. Naruto looked one last time at the ocean and went in search to his way home. Oh. Oi, Naruto, where were you this long? We thought you were lost or something, said Sasuke, while doing some after-evening push-ups while Sakura sat at the sofa taking with Tsunami and Kakashi reading his smut book. Oh Naruto. Good, you are back. I was almost ready to go look for you, said Kakashi with usual casual manner. Naruto talked to his sensei about getting lost in the forest and took 6 hours to find back home. Well, their client's home. After the dinner was done, everyone went to their room for much-needed sleep. But he wasn't sleepy and went to the house roof gazing at the stars, remembering all types of story his mother told him when they gazed there. A penny for your thought, Naruto, said Kakashi, appearing behind Kakashi, which startled Naruto and almost made him jump out of his skin and glared at Kakashi, who just infuriatingly smiled at the genin. Naruto sighed but moved a little to the side so that his sensei could sit with him. They sat in a comfortable silence, listening the ocean sound and watching some occasional fireflies for about 5 minutes, until Naruto took a deep breath and started. Sensei, I want to go out in the sea and explore and live my life and not be tied down to a place. I always dreamt being out there in the seas, making name for myself and just live as I want. Is it wrong that I don't want to go back home and live there? Is it wrong, sensei? Asked Naruto, desperately wanting an answer. Kakashi put down his book and sighed and honestly felt for Naruto. He also wanted to leave this life of shinobi with constant bloodshed in the shinobi life. Honestly, Naruto, it is not my place to tell you what you should do. It is your life after all, and not my decision to make for your life. You have to choose for yourself, but know this, Naruto, whatever you choose, I will support you and your parents will be proud of you. Always remember, Naruto, you choose what you want to do, know the other, and never let them rule you if it goes against everything you stand for. Naruto smiled hearing his sensei, his decisions now made, and gained light back in his eyes. You know, sensei, I never thought you would be talk like this. Are you really, Kakashi? Kakashi just took out his book and sunshined back to his room to get his sleep, while Naruto stayed on the roof and eventually went to the dreamland. Oh. 1 week later. Konoha. It's been a week after the talk with Kakashi and Naruto eating his devil fruit, and now they were in Konoha. Kakashi gave his report to the third Hokage Hiruzen Sarutobi and dismissed his genins. Naruto quickly came back home and started packing his stuff. Nothing more than food, some spare clothes and photos of his family and his team together. He had no special bond with anyone other than his team. Sasuke and Sakura will not care other than Kakashi, who might care a little. Asterisk knock 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 asterisk. Someone knocked on his door and Naruto hid his stuff while carefully opening the door. Oh, Kakashi-sensei, come inside. Kakashi quickly slid in silently while scanning the room. He saw the missing photos and some other stuff. So you have decided, Naruto? Stated Kakashi. Very well, Naruto, but before I will tell you should go in night when the patrol shift changes. And now what I am about to tell you is known by very few people, like only the higher up. Naruto, hearing Kakashi's serious tone, immediately straightened. Naruto, I hope you know about the Sage of the Six Paths. Well, around 800 years ago, during what everyone now calls the Void Century, it is said that he sealed of the entire continent, and put a massive genjutsu and many seals around the area, so that nobody will venture here, and that is the reason why no one found this land up until the recent century. He also made sure that if anyone ventures out, the genjutsu will affect him, and he will come back to the land, but if he succeeds to leave from here, then he will forget about everything from this land. Nobody exactly knows why, but he did, and now the seals are turned off, and no one knows why. But there is one seal that affects everyone, and why not many leave this land, and if they do, they get a nasty surprise. Well, because that one seal actually takes of the person's chakra fully, and they become what Lee is now. A human with no chakra. Nobody knows why he did it, and even many Fuinjitsu masters never can solve the seal. So if you leave, you will have no chakra to rely on. To say Naruto was shocked was an understatement. No chakra outside the land. Well, that will be a problem, but I still have devil fruit and my physical strength, which even Bushy Brow Sensei acknowledge, so I can manage. Thank you for the heads up, Sensei, I will miss you guys. Naruto got a little emotional about leaving his comrades behind. But he felt that if he will not leave, then there will be nothing for him here. Good luck on your journey, Naruto. I hope you meet good people out there and become strong. And before you go here, take this. Kakashi took out Najatana of 7 foot tall, and handed it to Naruto, who took a few swings of it. It felt oddly light. Well, you see, Naruto, this blade is one of the best out there, and was crafted by a master blacksmith. I know you will grow even more in height, call it hunch. Naruto teary-eyed hugged Kakashi after they both said their goodbyes, and Kakashi headed out for other work, and Naruto ate some 13 bowls of ramen and got ready for the night sneak. Oh. At dawn, Naruto sat in a boat near the border of the Fire Country and Otagakure at the Valley of the End. He looked towards the statues and got in the small boat he had. He didn't take a large, so it would be easy for him to sneak through the marines. He looked at the statue of Hashirama Senju and Madara Uchiha, 2 most powerful shinobi of their time. Well, time to go, or the shinobi will come after me, thought the blonde, starting to row his boat, knowing there might come shinobi for after he left. As only those wanting to join the Marines are allowed to leave, and others were marked as traitors. Now, don't underestimate Naruto, he might be a genin, but that was because of Kakashi waiting a bit longer for them to roll in the Chunin exams, which he won't be attending anymore. They blue-eyed was as strong as an Jonin if you purely use physical powers, and now with devil fruit he was even more powerful, and probably at elite Jonin level. I need to practice my devil fruit powers. I couldn't do it back home because from the sound of it would have caused large-scale damage, and I would probably be discriminated for having devil fruit, thought Naruto, looking at the horizon where he saw Marines, and quickly formed a plan of how to sneak though. Oh. Naruto was feeling empty. After sneaking from the Marines, he went on a little longer, and then he started to feel a pull on his chakra. It wasn't much. But when he passed a danger sign, he felt all his chakra drain from him at once, which made him feel very, very weak. But he held on a little more, and then saw an island a little far away. Quickly docking at the beach, he went in a cave and passed out. Waking up, he looked around before going to his boat for the food, which was about a week left. 5 days later, Naruto sat at the camp, formulating some plans on what to do now. I won't join the Marines because of all the order following, and all I already followed the Hokage, and that is enough for me. Yeah, only option is pirate, and know that pirate is. What should I do, join a crew or make a crew? Well, we see about that later, Databeo. Time for some DF training. As Naruto was going through his exercise, he saw a passenger ship there, and decided to board it for food and other things. Quickly and silently boarding the ship from his boat, which now only had 3 packets of ramen, he went inside the ship's storeroom while others were having a party. Pirates. It's Alvida pirates, run. A young man of 7 feet with sunny blonde hair and sky blue eyes was looking at the ocean from his spot on the passenger ship. He had black shirt showing his extremely muscled chest with black pants and black shinobi sandals. On his hand was a black stick-type bow staff of 1.5 m. Naruto frowned listening to the screams of the people running around in fear like headless chicken and Sailor loading cannons to fire at the pirates who appeared just a minute ago. Well, might as well help them from pirated, and I will also see what I have accomplished from my training plus. It will be fun to see what East Blue has to offer. Naruto grinned, and appeared behind sailors to get a better look at pirated who were trying to jump on the ship with ropes. Kobe. Who is the most beautiful throughout all the seas, said a woman to which Naruto's eyes almost popped off of his skulls. She was the most hideous-looking woman he ever laid his eyes on. Oh, of course, why you Alvida-sama, stuttered a pink-haired boy who he assumed to be Kobe. He looked like he wanted to be anywhere but here. Who let this disgusting whale out of the ocean? I almost puked looking at her. Naruto said, startling the sailors and pirates alike, as they didn't even notice him. Alvida looked very angry and snarled at the blonde who dared say her ugly. Anyway, whoever you are, I am going to destroy you for attacking these innocent civilians. Snarled Naruto, and with one jump, which shook the whole ship, landed on a pirate, killing him on the spot due to the force of landing. Naruto looked up and grinned fairly at the pirates, scaring them out. This man was no joke, and they knew from the jump alone he might be as powerful as Alvida. Launching themselves at the blonde with different weapons, they attacked with all their powers. Naruto just kept dodging their attacks and occasionally attacking a pirate with his staff, and knocking them off. Man, even academy brats can do better than them, and that's saying something. Naruto sighed pitifully at the pirates and decided to quickly finish this dance. He took out his sword, which was hidden inside of the bow staff, a gift from Kakashi-sensei. He jumped back, gaining some distance between him and his enemy. Okay guys, we have played this game long enough, and now I think it's time we choose the winner. And a tip, don't blink. Naruto said and disappeared and reappeared behind the group, while slowly resheathing his sword back. Asterisk click asterisk asterisk gush asterisk. All the pirates died with slashes across their chest, necks or other body parts after Naruto resheathed his sword with a resounding click. Looking up, Naruto saw Alvida looked pissed, but scared at the same time, while the pink-haired boy was shaking like tree in a tornado out from fear. I will kill you, Gaki, said the whale Alvida, and jumped at the blonde with her iron mace held high, while Naruto pulled back his right hand into fist, and when she got close he punched the mace and it shattered on impact. Everyone looked in amazement and fearful gaze. This man shattered an iron mace with just his punch and didn't even flinch. Quickly backhanding Alvida, he sent her sailing through the ship and towards the front of the ship. Taking out the sword, he put it on her neck and looked at her with his cold blue eyes, while Alvida was on the verge of knocking out and shit her pants. Naruto wrinkled his nose at the disgusting smell. Ugh, don't you have any manners? You should go to bathroom if you need to. Anyway, scum like you don't deserve to live, so I will make it quick as I ha. You bastard, die! Yelled a supposed dead pirate with gun in his hand, and nearly fired at Naruto until Gamu Gamu no pistol. Yelled a voice and quickly punched the pirate on the face, which sent him off board. Naruto looked surprised at the retreating more than humanly possible fist to the passenger ship. Must be a devil fruit, and a rubber one at that. Interesting. Leaving the woman who was foaming from her mouth, and at the boy. A young man of average height with shaggy black hair, round black eyes, and a slim muscular build. He had a straw hat on his head with red ribbon thing and red open shirt with blue pants and sandals. He also had a scar under his left eye. Man, you were so cool, like you killed them, and then destroyed her mace with one punch like Bayamam. So cool, you gotta join my crew. Said the boy, to which Naruto just raised his eyebrow in interest. A wannabe pirate. This might get interesting. So, who are you? Me? My name is Monkey D. Luffy. And I am gonna be the king of the pirates. Yelled Luffy with confidence in his voice, and Naruto thought either this kid was brave or stupid or both. Pirate King. You have some big dreams. Do you think you can stand at the pinnacle of the pirate era? Do you think you can conquer the Grand Line just like Gold Roger? Naruto asked, his voice booming and everything became still. Everyone held their breath waiting to see what happens next. Naruto asked to see the conviction of Luffy towards his dreams. Luffy stood there silent with his eyes shadowed through the hat, and suddenly looked at Naruto with fire in his eyes, and Naruto was taken aback. He saw himself in Luffy with those same eyes when he stated about his dreams to the world to hear. He made his decision then and there that he will follow this man to the depth of the hell itself, if needed, because Naruto knew, if nothing then he will get many adventures from here on. I will become the Pirate King even or die trying. Naruto jumped back to the passenger ship and stared down at Luffy. He offered his hand for a handshake to Luffy, who returned it, while grinning, which Naruto responded with the same one of his own. Name's Uzumaki Naruto. Nice to meet you, Captain. I hope we work well together. Monkey D. Luffy, hope we go good, first mate. A little while later Naruto and Luffy went on inside to have food when Marines came seeing Alvida's ship and attacked. Naruto and Luffy took whatever supplies they can and started lowering 2 boats and jumped in it. Through all the chaos Kobe also slipped inside the boat, which didn't go unnoticed by 2 other, but they ignored it for now. Naruto, we have escape right now, but this pirate is right in our way. Do something, Naruto. Luffy shouted while pointing towards the pirate ship blocking their path of escape. Aye, Captain, brace for impact, said Naruto, who took out his blood-red sword and closed his eyes and concentrated. Opening his eyes, he quickly slashed his sword in the air towards the ship. Sword funeral, said Naruto calmly, releasing a blue slash energy from his sword, which cut through the ship like hot knife through butter. Damn, that took a lot of concentration, thought Naruto, while sitting back huffing lightly. After a short while from their escape from Marines, Naruto and Luffy sat together and talked to Kobe, who told them his story of how he got in the pirate crew. Naruto and Luffy laughed at Kobe and called him an idiot, and then gave him motivation to follow his dreams, to which Kobe said he wanted to be a Marine and catch all the bad pirates. Luffy then asked Naruto his dream. Well, Luffy, my dream is to become the strongest person there is and protect all of my precious people. Naruto said, smiling a little, thinking back to some fond memories during his childhood. Anyway, where should we go next, Kobe? You must have sailed in East Blue for quite some time, Naruto asked Kobe, who nodded at Naruto. Well, I think we should go to Shell Town, as there is a marine base there. I also heard they have captured the famous pirate hunter, Ronoro Zoro, a demon in human skin who hunted pirates left and right, said Kobe, shivering a little at Zoro's name, while Naruto and Luffy looked at each other, and both said the same thing at same time. Ronoro Zoro, interesting. Wow, Kobe, you got some good navigation skills. We got here before I expected, said Luffy to Kobe, who blushed at the praise. He was never praised by anyone, not even for the good things he did in Alvida's ship. Naruto, Luffy and Kobe started walking towards the marine base, former 2 to look at his Zoro guys and latter 1 to join the Marines. Luffy came to stop in front of a small stall for some apple for him and Naruto. Eating the apple quickly, Naruto threw a berry at her, while asking the most anticipated question between their gang. Excuse me, ma'am, but do you know where this Ronoro Zoro is? Asked Naruto politely, which his mother literally beat into him. Jump everyone jumped back with fear in their eyes, to which Luffy just laughed at their jumpiness, but Naruto narrowed his eyes. He was rather perceptive to these things, as most the shinobis back home. Shrugging it off, as Ronoroa had quite a reputation for being a demon, and naturally people would fear him, and gang moved forward towards the base. Man, these people are jumpy. I want meet this quickly, laughed Luffy, while Naruto smirked, but Kobe looked a little nervous. I don't know if it's a good idea to meet him. Plus I have heard that the Marine in charge here is Captain Morgan, jump. Everyone near the trio again jumped with fear, and Naruto got an understanding look. He had heard about many authoritative figures abusing their power to exploit people, and looked like this place was no exception. After a little walk, they stood in front of main entrance to the marine base. They came near it without any more incident. Luffy looked around for a minute when he suddenly shouted, "Found him." You must be mistaken, Luffy. Why would they put such a dangerous prisoner outside? Said Kobe while hopping on the wall with Naruto and Luffy when he immediately froze. Tied to a cross-like post was man with black bandana on his head with green specks of hair poking out from side. He wore white t-shirt, green harakami and dark green jeans. This guy has an insane obsession with green. Naruto sweat dropped at the nearly green dress of Zoro. Either way, this man would have been quite an intimidating figure if he wasn't tied down like this. Before anyone could do anything, a sound came to their left, and they saw a little girl climbing the stairs. She looked at them and signaled them to stay quiet and jumped on the other side of the fence. Standing before Zoro, she smiled at him before smiling brightly at him. "Here, Mr. Zoro, I made rice balls for you. You must be very hungry after all this time." At this, Naruto took notice of the state Zoro was in. Zoro was looking like he was starved for at least 15-20 days. He could even see some outline of ribs poking from underneath his t-shirt. "Scram, kid, I am not hungry," said Zoro, to which the little girl refused while Zoro got angrier and angrier. "If you don't go away, then I will kick your ass, girl," Zoro shouted, startling the little girl. Naruto was going to interfere until he saw two Marines and a blonde-haired boy appear. Now Zoro-san, you shouldn't go around and bully little kids. That's not very nice of you," said the blonde boy with smirk, and then looked towards the little girl. "Give those rice balls to me, little girl." "No, it's for Mr. Zoro, not for you, you big meanie," said the girl while glaring at the blonde. The blonde smirked and snatched up the rice balls and took a bite from it. Cough, cough, too much sweet. "You dumb girl, you are supposed to put salt in it, not sugar," roared the blonde. "But I like sweets, so I thought it will taste great for Mr. Zoro," girl said, scared, and with tears in her eyes. The blonde in anger threw down the rice balls and stomped on them. "You go throw that girl outside now," commanded the blonde while glaring daggers at the girl and showing her the papers signed by Captain Morgan to execute whoever trespasses the marine grounds illegally for treason against him. The marine hesitated, but the blonde grew even more angry and started shouted at the marine, "Throw her away, or I will tell daddy about you not following orders. He is possibly the son of Morgan. So that is why he is acting like this," thought Naruto, listening to the conversation, while he and Luffy grew more and more angry at Morgan's son, while Kobe grew conflicted about the Marines. Marine, in fear for his life, picked up the girl who tried running away in vain. But the Marine whispered, "Curl into a ball," and threw her away through the wall where Naruto, Luffy and Kobe were hiding. Luffy quickly stretched his body and caught the girl while Naruto quickly was by the girl's side and checked for any injuries. "Thank you, Mr. Name's Naruto. He is Luffy and this guy is Kobe. What's your name, little girl?" introduced Naruto. "My name is Rika and I and my mother run a small restaurant in the town," said Rika. We will talk later as why you went there, Rika. But right now you should go to your home and get some medicine," said Naruto, seeing some scrapes on Rika. "Naruto is right. You should go home and Kobe will go with you. Plus I want to meet Zoro and ask him something," agreed and added Luffy, to which everyone agreed. Naruto and Luffy again climbed the wall while Rika and Kobe went to the town. Both boys saw the blonde boy waking away laughing while the two Marines followed. Seeing this, Luffy went towards Zoro and Naruto followed him. "Yo," greeted Naruto the way Kakashi always greeted their team. Zoro looked up from his position and saw two kids he saw who were on the wall spying on them. "What do you want?" said Zoro in his deep angered voice. "Join my pirate crew, Zoro," said Luffy while picking his nose like he didn't just ask one of the most dangerous person to join his crew. Zoro faltered a little. He never thought they had ever be so upfront with him and pirate crew. "I will never fall so low as to become a pirate." "And who the hell are you both?" said Zoro, angry and the proposition. "Me? I am Monkey D. Luffy and I am going to be the king of the pirates, and this guy here is my first mate Uzumaki, Naruto." Zoro looked surprised. "Pirate King? This boy has some big ambition. Just like me." He then looked at Naruto, saw the same gleam of big ambition and dreams. How unfortunate. It would have been great to sail with these guys, but I have promises to keep. I won't join your crew as I have promised to keep. And what is that promise? Asked Naruto, curious about this promise, but already had some guesses of his. That brat Helmoppo promised me that he will release me after 30 days of this, and only 10 days are left, so scram, I have some words to keep. Said Zoro, already having enough of them. Okay, we will come here every day for 10 days to convince you, said Luffy with Naruto nodding. Oi, give me those rice balls and make sure you don't miss a single grain, said Zoro just as the duo was about to leave. Are you sure? They are nothing more than dirt now, said Luffy, but still giving them to Zoro, who coughed and gauged but still swallowed. Hey, I told you it will be only dirt, grinned Luffy with Naruto. Just go away. And tell the girl that it was the most delicious food I ever had. Naruto and Luffy laughed together while moving out. They just had to get this guy on their crew. At restaurant. Naruto, Luffy, Kobe and Rika sat quietly outside of the restaurant, enjoying the silence and warmness of the sun. Say, Rika-chan, why did you try to feed Zoro-san? He is a bad guy, isn't he? Said Kobe, curious as to why a civilian would do something like this. Weren't the Marines supposed to be the good guys and civilians should help them? No. Mr. Zoro saved my and my mother's life from Helmoppo. Said Rika, recalling them the details of that day. Flashback asterisk. Asterisk grr. Bark asterisk. Ha 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 ha. Clear the way for my new pet, you scums, or I will tell daddy on you, said Helmoppo with his new beast of a dog that nearly bit many people and had badly bitten a man who was in hospital. People could only clear the way for him in fear of him telling his father, Axe Hand Captain Morgan, who has terrorized the entirety of Shell's town. Helmoppo, his dog and 2 guard marine got into the Rika's mother's restaurant while Rika was serving. The dog, seeing these many people, lunged at one of them while other ran away in fear. Rika, seeing this, grabbed a broom from corner and swung it frantically at the dog for him to get away. Go away, go away, go away. Seeing this, the dog growled and lunged at her when suddenly something impacted his face and knocked him out. Helmoppo looked up in fear and annoyance at whoever dared threw the tool at his new pet. You should keep your pet in line, boy, said the man who kept eating his food, but Helmoppo instantly recognized him. How couldn't he? This man has become very famous by hunting pirates, also known as pirate hunter Ronoro Azoro. He instantly recognized him by his signature 3 swords and bandana. Getting up, Zoro took out his one sword, which had black scabbard, but otherwise normal sword, and put it on the neck of Helmoppo, who nearly fainted from the pressure. Helmoppo suddenly grinned evilly, an idea coming to his head to save his life and deal with Zoro. You know my father is Captain Morgan. I can have him kill this family, and even you can't take on the whole marine base by yourself, right? Grinned Helmoppo, but Zoro simply scoffed. Does this kid really think I can't take on the whole base if need be? But fighting marines will be a bad idea, or they would label me as pirate or something, thought Zoro, as having marines on his back, while he is alone, will be quite a headache. I have a proposition for you, and if you complete it, I will leave this family alone and leave you alone, Helmoppo. Then what do you propose? And you better keep your word on it, said Zoro, having his doubts. Of course I will keep my words. Who do you think I am, a pirate? Anyway, the proposition is that you will be tied to a post without getting any food and survive for 30 days, and then our deal will be complete, said Helmoppo, grinning evilly while thinking Zoro will back down from this. But he didn't know how Zoro can be. Zoro just let his sword fall to the ground, showing that he accepted the proposal, and tied his bandana on his head. Flashback end. Everyone sat in silence after listening to Rika, and the trio gained newfound respect for Zoro. They now understood Zoro was trying to save the family by nearly sacrificing himself. Suddenly Naruto remembered something. Oh Rika, Zoro said that the rice ball you gave him was tastiest food he ever had in his whole life. Really? Did he really say that? Said Rika, excited, to which Naruto nodded, and Rika was very happy that he liked the rice balls. Suddenly they heard some commotion form inside the restaurant and saw Helmoppo smirking while shouting orders for his food, which made Luffy's and Naruto's blood boil seeing him. Oi bitch! Get me some food, and while everybody listen, I am having Zoro executed tomorrow as he is no more fun to play with, said Helmoppo, while Luffy and Naruto's eyes suddenly shadowed, hiding their anger at the brat. Suddenly Luffy moved towards Helmoppo, intent on teaching him a lesson, and Naruto didn't stop him from this. If it came to fighting, he and Luffy can take on the Marines here. Luffy came to stand near Helmoppo, who was still spouting some nonsense. Rearing his fist back, Luffy punched Helmoppo that sent him flying through the wall and onto the other side of the street, knocking him out, while the Marines ran with his body towards the base. You know, after this they will come for us, said Naruto, coming to stand near Luffy, who grinned at him. Me, who cares? We can take them on any time I want, said Luffy in his usual carefree attitude, while Naruto grinned. Yeah, they do make a good team together. Well, with what you did they might move up Zoro's execution for today, so let's go and save Zoro Databeo, said Naruto, and formulated a plan of how he can help Zoro and get him on his crew. Marine grounds. I promise you that I will become the strongest swordsman in the world. I promise this, Kuna. Zoro gasped and woke from his dream. He didn't have these types of dream very often, but it also reminded Zoro of his promise to Kuna. Oi, Zoro Beast, whispered a voice, and Zoro suddenly looked around in alarm. He hadn't heard anybody coming near him, but somebody just sneaked in on him. Oi! Don't move so suddenly, or it will alert the Marines. Now relax yourself and listen to what I have to say, and by the way, I am Naruto, if you don't remember Databeo, said Naruto, and Zoro let himself fall like nothing happened but kept himself ready. Anybody who can sneak up on him is not someone to scoff at. And that kid did it, who looked so loud and obnoxious. Listen, we heard that Helmoppo had no intention of following through his words, and said that he would execute you tomorrow. So I am here to save, but I do have one condition. Zoro gritted his teeth in anger. That bastard. I will kill him. And what is the condition? Asked Zoro as to what he is proposing. Well, my captain wants you to be our new Nakama, so join us, and we will save you. If you are able to free me and give me my swords back, I will join your crew. Okay, then where are your swords? I think it's in that brat's room. He took my swords like toys after capturing me, Zoro grunted. Will he even be able to find it? Very well, stay here, said Naruto, and ran from behind the pole Zoro was tied to while he was using his camouflage technique, which didn't require any chakra to work. Quickly getting inside the Marine base through the front door, which strangely didn't have any guards, he went to search for rooms. Searching in every floor, which was easy enough because of the lax security and less Marines, which was very strange, he saw a room written with my room, and knew it was Helmoppo's. Getting inside, he saw the room was painted pink with girly decorations and items. Who are you? And how dare you get inside my room? Said Helmoppo, who just woke up after being knocked out by Luffy, but Naruto paid him no mind. Quickly knocking him with his staff before he can shout, he saw 3 swords sitting in the corner of the room eating dust and got angry. How dare he? As a sword lover himself, he hated people who didn't use or take care of swords. Strapping the swords to his back, he was about to jump outside when he grinned evilly. Might as well test it, thought Naruto, and then raised his fist high in the air. Focusing, he gathered his devil fruit power into his fist and slammed it on the ground. Earth's destruction. The whole area shook from the impact of his devil fruit punch, and the floor caved in and Naruto started falling towards the ground floor. The whole building shook heavily like Earth itself was furious and wanted to swallow everything. Boom! Came the sound of something crashing outside, and Naruto saw something like a statue laying in pieces and Marines coming out. Then he saw that Luffy with Zoro, while Marines filtered out with a 9-feet man shouting at them, whom he assumed was the captain of this base. Marine base. Main office. I am, great. Axe-handed Captain Morgan was a man who saw and fought many battles himself. He rose from bottom to captain rank and got a whole base to command, and he took whatever steps it was necessary to keep it that way. He executed people who he thought were traitors to him. He also took tribute from everyone in the town, but nowadays it was getting lower and lower. You are great, sir, yelled a Marine standing behind the desk while Morgan looked at him, eyes narrowed. Then why do you think the tributes are getting lower and lower? Are the people thinking of rebellion against me? Said Morgan, angry on the low amount of money or tribute as he called it. Sir, people's wallet also run dry, and they are not getting enough money, so think that's also, said the Marine, very nervous as to what Morgan might do to him. I am surrounded by traitors. I will deal with everyone after my statue gets erected, growled Morgan, and walked towards the roof of the base. Ooh. Looking at the statue, which was of himself, he looked on in pride. His life's work was standing there looking tall and bright. It took some time to erect the statue with those incompetent Marines working, but it was done, and now nobody could ever do anything to him. This town was now his and only his to rule. Time to deal with some traitors, said Morgan, but just as he was about to leave, the building shook. No, the whole town shook. It was like an earthquake, and the base was at the epicenter of it. Looking at his statue, his eyes bulged. His statue literally broke in half. The upper part was falling down the building, while other one broke apart from the shaking. Sir, there is a person near the prisoner, Zoro, shouted a Marine, spotting both of them. Traitors, kill them both, yelled Morgan, and his Marines got ready. Fire. X. With Luffy. Luffy was not a person who followed any plans. No, he had rather charge head on than to stay still. But Naruto made him sit in the restaurant while he went and took all the action alone. No, he will be having fun too. So, he ran towards the base and saw Zoro there, but not Naruto. Oi, Zoro, shouted Luffy and waved towards Zoro like they were old buddies. Hey, join my crew. And did you meet Naruto? Where did he go? Asked Luffy while Zoro sweat dropped. This guy is my supposed captain. Yes, I met him, and he went to retrieve my swords, grunted Zoro. And can you remove these ropes? They are not exactly comfortable. Okay. Asterisk shake asterisk. Woo-ah. Everything is shaking, yelled Luffy just as he was about to open Zoro's ropes. Everything was shaking and Luffy stumbled. Kill them both. Someone yelled after the shaking stopped, and Luffy and Zoro looked to see some Marine pointing guns at them, while the big guy, supposedly Captain Morgan, was commanding them. Fire, commanded Morgan, and his Marines fired at them. Zoro closed his eyes, waiting for the bullets which never came. Asterisk gasp asterisk. Hearing gasps, he looked up, and what he saw made his eyes pop out of his skulls. Standing in front of him, shielding him, was Luffy, but the strange thing was that his body was stretched at points where the bullets hit him. What are you? Are you even human? Zoro asked the question which was on everyone's mind. I am a rubber man, answered Luffy, and he threw back the bullets at Marines, which hit some of them, which was nothing serious. Oi, Zoro, take this, said Naruto, appearing beside Zoro, and cut down his bindings. What are you doing? Attack them, said Morgan, and every Marine jumped towards Luffy with swords. Asterisk clang asterisk came the sound of sword clashing, and Zoro was in front of Luffy, crouched. But he had two swords in both his hands and one in mouth, as he was there blocking the Marine's sword. Now that I have officially attacked Marines, I am now in their shit list. So, before I join your crew, know this, that if even one of you hold me back from achieving my dream, and I will not hesitate in leaving. And what is your dream? Asked Luffy, equally serious. To become the greatest swordsman in all of the world, replied Zoro with fire in his eyes and conviction in his eyes. Great. I wouldn't want anyone less than the greatest on the future Pirate King's crew, grinned Luffy, and Zoro threw back the Marines and swiped his sword on them, giving them shallow cuts and making them faint. I will deal with yo asterisk cough spurt asterisk, coughed Morgan with blood pouring down from his mouth. Looking down, he saw a sunny blonde brat holding a sword sticking in where his heart is. When DDY, you, Morgan muttered his last words and saw darkness. He didn't even see the brat move. In my previous profession, we were taught to kill quickly and effectively. Plus, I don't like villains who give a whole ass monologue. So be happy you died, said Naruto in bored manner. He didn't like killing all that much, but when it came to killing scums like him, then he will gladly kill them. Ah, sorry Captain, I took all the fight of him from you, ehehe. Nervously scratching back of his head, Naruto looked at Luffy, and Zoro both stood in awe of his speed. Snapping out of his awe state, Zoro looked at Naruto's sword. I saw his movement, but it was like blur to me. A swordman who relies on speed, observed Zoro, looking at the blonde speed at his stance, But he also knew that if need be the blonde can use his strength by the looks of his muscles. "So, any of you guys wants to fight?" asked Naruto, looking at the Marines standing a little far from them. All the Marines looked at each other and, "We are free!" yelled every Marine, seeing Morgan dead, to which Luffy, Zoro and Naruto smiled and decided to let them enjoy it. Suddenly Zoro collapsed, to which Naruto and Luffy panicked. "Zoro!" shouted both in unison, but Zoro looked at them with tired eyes. "I am hungry," drawled Zoro, while both crewmates laughed. At restaurant. Zoro sat in his chair and his left eye twitching. "How can you both eat so much when I am the most hungry one?" asked Zoro, while Naruto and Luffy devoured their food, and it was a lot. "Ah, that hits the spot," both said in unison after completing their food. "Thank you for feeding us, Miss Suzume," said Naruto, thanking Rika's mom who fed them all for free. "I also want to thank you for feeding me, even though I did nothing," said Kobe, embarrassed about eating so much for free. Luffy and Naruto talked a little while she made food, in which they convinced Kobe to join the Marines, as not every Marines are bad or good. "So Captain, what is your plans?" asked Zoro, to which Luffy thought for a moment. "Well, I just want to go to Grand Line," said Luffy, and Zoro wasn't surprised. "And where is our ship?" asked Zoro, while both Naruto and Luffy pointed towards the docks, and he saw two small boats and sweat dropped. "Excuse me, but are you three pirates?" came the voice of Marine who stood at the entrance of the restaurant. "Yes, we are," excitedly said Luffy, while Naruto slung a big bag full of food and some supplies, while Zoro strapped his swords, knowing what was coming. "My name is Commander Ripper, and as a thank you for freeing us from Morgan's rule, we won't report you all to the Marine HQ. But as a Marine, we can't let pirate roam free in our city. So, as Marine, I urge you to leave this island at once," said Ripper. But several people shouted their disagreements and protest, but Luffy suddenly stood up with his bright grin. "Okay then, I was going to leave anyway, so goodbye," said Luffy as he waved at everyone while the trio moved towards the docks. Looking back at Kobe, he grinned and gave him a thumbs up. Kobe gulped, remembering his promise to Luffy and Naruto. "See, Commander Ripper, can I join the Navy?" said Kobe nervously, but with fire in his voice, and started sweating under the scrutiny of the commander. "Very well, young Marine," said Ripper, smiling a little. At the dock. "Everything's ready, Captain," said Naruto, opening the sails of his and other boat. In Zoro sat guarding the supplies. "Bye, Luffy, Naruto, Zoro," shouted Kobe while giving a salute, while the Marines stood behind him at attention. "Men, I have a command for you. You can follow it or not, it's your own choice," said Ripper. "All hands salute." Every single Marine stood there and saluted towards the pirate group, showing their respect to the trio. Zoro smirked. Luffy's eye shadowed, but he gave a bright grin, while Naruto sat there leaning on his sword, smirking, and his eyes shadowed by his hair. "Bye everyone. I hope we meet again," shouted back Luffy. "Guys, our adventure has begun, so we go straight ahead," said Luffy to his group, and they all cheered. And thus began the journey of the Straw Hat Pirate. And that's it for today. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to share your opinions in the comment section below.